Hello, everyone. Who's singing stripper song?
Sorry, it's Jen's fault.
It's my Make It Rain name. Sorry.
Yeah, Make It Rain. I'm sorry.
Well, I wanted to do this class. Well, it was a dare. So let me just say that. I was dared to do this class. I was dared to read a book. And I'm going to go grab that book really quick. Sorry about that. I was dared to read this Lucy Libido. There's an oil for that. A girlfriend's guide to using essential oils between the sheets. So I was dared to read this book and to host a class on it. I didn't really know what I was in for when I offered to do that. And I say that because I got the book. I said, I can do a sex class, no big deal. Whatever. It's just a sex class. But I didn't realize that I was struggling as well. So I dug into the book, and at the same time, I ordered, and we'll get into essential oils and how you use them in a second, but I ordered Progestins Plus. So at the same time that I got the book, I also got, well, maybe slightly before I got the book, I had gotten Progestins Plus. Progestins Plus is recommended as a serum in this book. And so as I'm reading the book, and also having applied Progestins Plus for several days, things were changing in me that I didn't realize was actually happening. Like my body just started to feel different. I didn't understand it. As I'm reading the book, I'm starting to understand how hormones have a play at your libido. So, oh, I'm sorry. Let me mute everybody. I apologize. And I'm not sure how to do that. Hold on one second, guys. Oh, perfect. Everybody muted themselves. I appreciate it. So I didn't realize, how much hormones had a play in my sexual drive and my libido, and how, that was impacting my marriage or my relationship. And there wasn't really a negative impact that I had saw before reading this book, Progestins Plus. So I start taking Progestins Plus. I'm reading through this book, and I'm making discoveries, and I'm realizing that I'm changing. So I want to take you through that story. I want to take you through that journey. Excuse me. I want to take you through that journey while also giving you insight on products, oils, and other things that you can use to kind of help you. When I say oils, I just want to reference that I'm talking about Young Living essential oils. They're the purest on the market. I cannot speak to any other brand's essential oils. I don't know, what's in there. Don't blame me if you're applying other companies' essential oils and you get a rash, or you start burning your lady bits, or burning your husband's joystick because you started applying oils from companies that I didn't recommend. So let's go ahead and dig in. So the first thing I want you guys to, think about is the fact that you're all beautiful. I think one of the things that we fail to realize, or that we assume, is that beauty is, the stuff that we're seeing on Instagram or Facebook, or you're walking down the street and you see somebody really pretty and you're like, oh, they're so pretty, because they have things about them that maybe you think you want in yourself. And I'm here to tell you that, we're all beautiful. We all have flaws, but those flaws don't make us not beautiful. So I think for the most part, as people are kind of walking and doing their life, and they're envisioning, what beauty really is, and how those thoughts impact you on the inside and internally, and how they outward project on your spouse or your partner, it's on you to really dig deep and realize that everything about you is what God intended. He made you the way that you are. So I'm going to read a quote really quick. that the most beautiful woman in the world is the one who is fearlessly herself, standing in who her creator made her to be, and the one who runs relentlessly after God's own heart. So you're all on mute. I'm going to say it too. I'm fucking beautiful, man. Period. All right.
Get it? That's right, girl.
So let's talk libido. Picture a scale, those old fashioned scales, and I can even show you one if you guys are visual learners. But picture a scale, you know, those ones that there's like a little thing in the middle and there's, you know, it's a manual scale. And think about like a set of marbles, like you and your spouse, you and your partner having a set of marbles. And put your marbles on your side of the scale, and your significant other will add their marbles on their side of the scale. And those marbles represent your libido. So how much you want to have intimate time with your partner, how much you want to snuggle, you know, public display of affection, whatever. Drop your little marbles on your side of the scale and envision your partner, or if you're doing this exercise with your partner, have them drop their marbles on their side of the scale and see how that scale shifts. So for me personally, I'll put my marbles in there and it's like a marble at the time. Life is so different now. But at the time before, I probably have one marble in there because I'm like, dude, we have this life, like everything's good. Like I'll have sex with you once a week. It's good. I'm fulfilling my commitment, you know? And I was always correlating that with, I didn't always have, like I had boyfriends, but they were long distance. So, you know, we would be intimate, you know, randomly. It wasn't a weekly thing. It wasn't, you know, an everyday thing because I had long distance relationships. So I just kind of correlated my sexual drive with that. Like I just wasn't always super active. And, but my husband's he gonna throw all the marbles on there, okay? The whole scale gonna tip. Like the scale gonna tip over because his shit is just, he put all the marbles on there. I want you to think about how that unleveled scale impacts a relationship. I'm not the only couple. There's probably millions of couples out there who are the same. The person who has the one marble on there, they're not intentionally not wanting to be intimate with their partner. The person who has all the marbles on there is, guess what? They're feeling rejected, right? Because you're constantly, you know, they're trying to, you know, be intimate with you and you're just like, no, you know, you got your, like, we'll do it once and then you'll be over. So the goal of the person with the one marble is not to frustrate their partner. But what happens when the scale is unbalanced is just that. It leads to frustration, and it could lead to, you know, commitment issues if you got the wrong partner. Thank God that, you know, at 11 years, I had the right partner and he understood. So here we are. In April 11th, it'll be 11 years I've been with this man. And for probably 9 of those years, we've had an unbalanced scale. That's terrible. So I talked to you a little bit about Progestins Plus. So let's talk about the oils. Actually, you know, I think I'm going to display this because I think it's important for you guys to see what these oils look like. And if anybody disagrees with looking at these slides, then I won't show them, but I think they're going to be a good visual for those. So I'm going to share my screen if you guys just give me 1 second. And I've got you guys on the side so I can see you. All right. Can you all read that just fine? I know some of you guys are probably on your phone, so this might not be the best visual display. Let me delete this. I will go into presenter mode. All right. Hold on 1 sec. Go up, and I'm going to hide my video.
That's perfect, Nicole.
All right. I got video overlapping, so it's kind of showing. I can't I can't see this
It's
well.
clear on my screen now. I see your whole page. And you're in the corner somewhere.
Right.
Oh, great. Oh, okay, perfect. All right, so, oh, come on. All right, so Progestins Plus. What I learned by reading this book is that it was developed by a doctor who specialized in hormones, and he did tests on women. And what he found doing those tests, they either had low or no progesterone at all. Progesterone is the hormone that your body needs. It is a libido hormone for sure. Obviously, estrogen aligns with libido as well, but progesterone is one of the main hormones that you need for libido and your overall wellness. Low progesterone can contribute to some issues that you might be familiar with, endometriosis. Some women have menstrual migraines, and obviously PMS. There's other oils to help support with PMS. I wouldn't say that that Progestins Plus was the optimal oil for the PMS that I've been experiencing since using it. So I'm adding more oils into my portfolio so that I have those oils to help support in the PMS area. As you might know, progesterone will decrease with age. And, my issues that I've been experiencing, I don't know if they were necessarily age related, but progesterone does decrease with age, and it decreases after childbirth. Low progesterone and estrogen can contribute to night sweats and hot flashes. I have, for the past 5 years or so, had night sweats and wasn't really sure why. I had my hormones tested. They came back normal, or whatever their scale is for normal. Obviously they weren't. I don't have those sweats anymore, just being on Progestins Plus. So I'm extremely excited about that. In this blend is wild yam extract. If you've ever done any research on wild yam extract, or if you've ever heard of people trying to use a natural product for their progesterone, that you'll hear them talk about wild yam extract. That's included in this particular serum. So what I do with this serum is I apply a drop here. So like the tissue on your forearm is thin. The skin on your forearm is thin. So what you apply here will absorb, and I try to get my arm up there, will absorb very easily. So I apply one drop on one forearm, and I use my wrist on my other to rub it in. And then I apply another drop on the other forearm and I rub it in. If you need added support, then you can add an additional drop on your neck, which is over your thyroid. The next oil is Dragon Thyme, and Dragon Thyme is the oil that I'm adding to my collection for additional support during the time of the month. Dragon Thyme was formulated for that time, so it is a great hormone balancing oil during the time of the month. It works by raising your estradiol levels. We'll talk a lot about estradiol levels over the course of a few of these slides, but estradiol is also a very important hormone for libido as well. You can apply Dragon Thyme to your abdomen. Some women apply it to each side of their neck, which is likely what I will do when I start using it. So I'm not on cycle, but when I go back in, and I'll use that, and I can always share with you guys later how that oil affected me. Endoflex is an oil that I currently use, and it is great at hormone balancing. It's really great in support of your endocrine system. So I don't know if you're familiar with your endocrine system, but it is your network. It communicates wirelessly to your, to all of your, to the entire system. So we're talking your adrenal glands, your thyroid, the communication system. It helps, regulate your metabolism, your growth, development, tissue function, sexual function, reproduction, thyroid function, sleep, and mood. So your endocrine system is, if you do nothing else, make sure that you are focusing on your endocrine system Endoflex has been a significant support for me. I started on Endoflex before moving into Progestins Plus. So I had been using that for some time, and it had offered some valuable benefits to me during that time. So these are your hormone balancing oils. These ones are really good for balancing your hormone. Some additional oils that I'll talk about. One is really good for women who are, going through their menopausal transition. So for over 45 to 50 is a lady sclereol is really good for women in that age range. You can use it now. There's nothing wrong with using it now. Some women who are not within that age range have tremendous value out of lady sclereol, but you can, it has been most beneficial for women over 45 and 50. It's a hormone balancing blend. It contains oils known to decrease negative emotions. It will help boost your confidence, and it will make you feel more peaceful and grounded. Lady sclereol includes geranium, which helps in hormonal balance. So some of these oils you might have individually, and you might be able to use while you're, I'm going to look at the chat real quick. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing something. You guys are funny. Yes, Endoflex can go over the thyroid. Perfect. Okay, you guys are answering questions, so I appreciate that. If I miss anything, you guys can just go off mute and tell me to shut up, because I can't see your comments right now while I'm talking with this screen showing. And so again, what I was going to say is you might have some of these oils individually. I suggest you start using them now. Obviously, lady sclereol is got several oils inside of it, but geranium is one of them. It helps with hormonal balance. Clary sage, you're going to hear me talk about later as an individual oil. Clary sage is one that I would recommend you have on the shelf now. If you don't have lady sclereol, you should have clary sage. It balances your body systems when you're dealing with that, just before the time of the month or while you're in it, and you've got cramps. Ylang ylang, the aphrodisiac oil, you should have that thing. Hopefully you got it last month in your ER order, if you ordered enough. But ylang ylang, I got it, and I've only had it for a short period of time, but oh my goodness. It is a male-female sexual balancing oil. Both of us benefit from ylang ylang. A sage lavender shows support for your estradiol levels. And the blend also includes coriander, vetiver, orange, bergamot, sandalwood, jasmine, and Idaho tansy. All of those are very good oils for hormonal regulation, balancing, and support. The next oil I'm going to talk about is sclerescence. It also comes in a vitality. So this one is a really good one to take internally. It's recommended to take about 1 to 10. I've seen even up to 20 drops. I'd recommend starting slow and taking this one internally. Sclerescence is for women during their fertile years. It helps support healthy estradiol and testosterone levels. Women do have testosterone, FYI. I'm pretty sure you guys know that. But having those healthy levels of both of those hormones is ideal. Having a low estradiol level is common with women who have irregular menstrual cycles and unhealthy reproductive systems. So I'm going to raise my hand and say sclerescence is an oil that I need and that I use on a regular basis. Estradiol plays a very important part in bone health, along with your hormones, energy levels, metabolism, your libido, and your emotional well-being. All right. Again, that one is available in a vitality oil, so you can take it in a veggie cap. So when I say 1 to 10 drops, I don't mean put it in water. Put it in a veggie cap and take it internally once a day. So let's get into the libido oils. Ooh, hey. Let me move my little thing up here so I can actually see. All right, so ylang ylang. I talked about that earlier. It is historically known as an aphrodisiac oil. There has been stories of ylang ylang petals being spread across a bed, like this oil and the flower, which this oil is distilled from, is an aphrodisiac. So even the flowers of the oil of this plant are aphrodisiac. It influences sexual energy and enhances your relationships. Can't beat that with a bat. So, when it's that time or even before, I would be putting ylang ylang in the diffuser and letting that thing set the tone. You can be diffusing this while just before your, mate gets home, and you're already setting the mood. So as soon as he or she gets there, it's time to get going. It does stimulate your adrenal glands. It's calming and relaxing, and it'll help you with improve, if you've got a low self-esteem. Let me get rid of this. Clary sage is another oil. It's been used for some time for hormonal issues. So we talked about clary sage earlier. This is one that I won't repeat. It's very good during PMS, during your cycle, and even after, to help keep your estrogen levels supported. This is an oil that I highly recommend you have in your stash. So let's talk about some mood oils. So cypress is what Lucy Libido calls a thigh master, which, by the way, I might have to agree with. So cypress is one that you're going to want to put on the inner parts of your thighs. It stimulates blood flow. It improves circulation. This one's going to open your floodgates, ladies. So if you're not using cypress, I don't know what you're doing. You're doing the wrong thing. Orange, on the other hand, is happiness in a bottle. Orange will unlock your man's joystick. If you apply 8 drops over his liver, so I think you may have heard on a video, if you're in We're Oily, about glutathione and the benefits of glutathione to men. Well, this helps, that having the right level will help support your man's joystick in the process. And I'm sorry, this thing is giving me a little alerts. So let me clear my screen. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm having a little web issue here.
I don't see any of it though, so it seems like you're okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the next oil is Joy. Joy is my love oil. Like, it's just, before, when it was originally made, it was called Love. It's definitely a love oil. I diffuse Joy on a daily basis. At one point, before I was using Progessence Plus, I had, a diffuser bracelet, and I would put Joy on my diffuser bracelet. And even if I wasn't in the mood, and, my husband's like, I'm like, okay, let's go. So I always recommend Joy. It is an extreme mood enhancer, in my opinion. It works phenomenal on balancing my hormones. I definitely agree. And I agree that it can help with achieving orgasm. So ladies, Joy, that's your oil. And if you need it on a bracelet to help you, if you need to rub it on your that's another inner thigh one that I would apply on the inner thigh. I would apply it on my wrist. I wouldn't bathe in it. It's a very strong oil. I would put enough on to enjoy, but Joy is a great oil. Sensation, the next oil, is a little bit, I'll call, tamer than Joy. So it's not as strong as Joy is, but it is also a great flirty oil to apply. This one is also light enough that you can put it topically without causing irritation, but I would obviously dilute it. I wouldn't use it straight. So dilute the oil, and you can put it, on your G-spot, and, have a great time with your mate. Next is Valor. I mean, there's a whole bunch you can say about Valor, but let's just talk about it. Valor is just one of those things that I apply it before I do, videos or classes. I apply Valor when I'm going out the door. I apply Valor before, a tough meeting. Valor is a very stimulating oil. It stimulates your limbic part of your brain. It helps promote feelings of confidence and courage. So that's why, Valor, courage, it's interchangeable. That's how it got its name. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So oils for him. Hey. All right, Shutran. Oh my goodness. So I covered the oils for the women. We can talk about application, but Shutran for men. Shutran was created as a cologne for men, and I guess you can call it that, but the constituents within the oil are like pheromones to women. So your man applies it, he can wear it on his neck as a cologne, on his wrists, whatever. I have my husband apply it to his neck, and to his groin area, and it's like, I mean, if you don't have Shutran, I don't even know what else to say. I'm a woman telling you about Shutran on your man. So, I mean, you hear how I'm saying it. Don't leave that oil out. It's also a great hormone supporting oil for men too. Idaho Blue Spruce is like natural testosterone. It's testosterone in a bottle for a man. So just like I'm getting from Progestins Plus, I'm getting, my support. Your man can get his testosterone support from Idaho Blue Spruce. If he's, talking about, having low testosterone, his workouts are lagging or whatever, Idaho Blue Spruce is a great hormone supporting, a testosterone supporting oil. There's been research done, and that 5 drops of Idaho Blue Spruce supports testosterone significantly in men. All right, the next one, Golden Rod. I mean, the name by itself says it all. And I know it's on the page, but it says it all. It improves circulation. So what do you think? If your man's got a deflated hose, you got to use Golden Rod to help him get it up. I mean, hey, apply Golden Rod topically. Nutmeg is known as an aphrodisiac oil. It's got stimulating properties. Now, nutmeg is a hot oil. You want to be very careful with nutmeg. You don't want to overdo it on nutmeg. It stimulates energy. It increases circulation. It can be applied topically. It is a vasodilator. So again, think about vasodilation. If you don't know what vasodilation is, look it up. Do not apply this liberally. It's nutmeg and it's hot. You got to be careful with nutmeg. I suggest that you make a blend, apply it to your skin and see how it feels. And then you got to know your ratios. Now we've got some recipes that I don't have in this presentation, but I can share with you outside of it. Next is Mister. Mister is a blend that helps men's prostate to function optimally. So prostate health is extremely important. So I have my husband applying this oil as well on a daily basis to help support his testosterone, which it does, and help support his prostate. And he applies this to his groin area. Hung Kwai, I hope I'm saying that correctly, is confidence in a bottle. It's got the highest sequesterpine content of all Young Living oils. If you know anything about sesquiterpenes, then you know that Hung Kwai, being the highest, is going to be an exceptional oil. It's known as liquid confidence. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and come back and see what questions we have. Now my video is saying it's gonna end because they're crazy. So if it does, I apologize, but let's get to questions if you have any. I know y'all got questions because y'all been chatting it up.
We're just sharing
Girl,
all
you
the things
said
and
go to
saying
Rod.
work.
Yeah.
I
Girl, we just love the names like Al. I want that one, and I need this one. Mm. Girl.
Yeah.
So one of my questions were, sorry, I should probably show my face. That's kind of rude. So for a lot of the oils that you were saying women can use and opening floodgates, you can apply more than one, or should you just stick to one and see how it goes and try another one and see how it goes? Or are you mixing? Are you cocktailing? What?
I always introduce slowly, but I introduce one oil at a time just to see how my body is responding to it. But they can, if you have them and if you have history in using them, you can use them all. You can layer, they call it layering. So like
Okay.
I'll put on my Progestins Plus on my arms and on my neck. I'll wait about 26 seconds for that to get into my system because it takes about 26 seconds to get in. And then I'll apply my Endoflex to my thyroid and I'll keep going. If it were that time of the month and I was taking my dragon time, I would apply my progestins, apply my Endoflex, apply my progestins, wait 26 seconds, Endoflex, wait 26 seconds, and apply my